85-77 loss. But you know what? I've learned a lot more out of this game with the Custodes than I have on any other game. Strange, but I think you learn more from a game you lose than you do when you win. So some good decisions I made, but I think probably a few decisions in there that cost me the game. With that, nerdlings, let's roll and reflect. Three games in, enjoying the Custodes, and they've been really, really close battles. Only a few points in it, so it's not a total whitewash, and I think in WTC terms that would be a draw. I don't want to turn this into a bitch fest about Ultramarines. Kyle is a good player, and I want to take that away from him. Plays a good game. Knows his units inside out, by the way. What's with Ultramarines and the stupid effing bastard they always have rerolls. The stupid fucking neg damage. Oh, that's so frustrating, man. So frustrating. That's why I didn't go for the Redemptor in the middle, because half damage, so, you know, what's the point? Absolute waste of fucking rations that was. So I was up against it, you know, Redemptors, Gladius tank, Kato and his goons, Calgar and his Blade Guard, and then the Landspeeder, the Brutalis. I mean, man alive, the Space Marines is just... Look, I'm happy for the Ultramarine players. Really am happy for the... No, I'm not happy with the Ultramarine players. I'm not happy about that. Turn one, and this is the story of the game. Secondaries for me were a bit hit and miss. I had a plan in my head. Jet bikes would flank out to the right and left, and then kill box in the centre, bring on Trajan and Achilles. Oh, and also I had my Venatari. I left the Witch Seekers in the centre to scout into the middle, which was good. I thought that was really good because I could then try and hold that objective. But that was a poor move later on in the game. The Witch Seekers should have went over to the right to that expansion. I would have been able to just let them sit there, because that expansion was the one area that I held all my primary points on, rather than my Achilles sitting there. Yeah, he just sat there. He didn't fight. He didn't shoot the entire game. What was I thinking? 125 points. And he turns into an action monkey. But this is why we call it roll and reflect, huh? Yeah, that was a really stupid move. What was I thinking? My poor Walker. He didn't get a chance. He didn't... Oh, every time I was wanting to use him to get him into the fight, one, I couldn't move because it was the only primary objective I held, and secondly, my secondaries were actions on objectives or terrain pieces. So he had to stay there. Oh, and also I had my Venatari in Deep Strike along with my Alaris Terminators, which I used poorly. I never ever do this with Alaris Terminators, and I don't know why. I fell for the bait, man. If you're enjoying these videos, do hit the sub button. That would mean a lot to me. And, you know, give us a comment. Let me know what your detachments are. I did all right, but I would say the game slipped away from me when... Well, yeah, I mean, deployment didn't help, but you know, you can work with that. You can fix them problems. That's not an issue. I think what I did wrong was I probably hit the big red button, panic button, a bit too quick, and brought down Trajan and the Alaris Terminators together in the center, because his Gladius tank had pushed up onto the right-hand objective into the center, and I pushed my bikes onto the right, which was what I was planning to do with Tiggy. I failed my charge with Trajan into the Gladius tank, and I managed to get the Terminators into the tank. However, because I'd moved up, that meant that Kato and his boys could then heroically intervene. Heroic intervention in the game now for 11th is huge. I think it's bigger than Overwatch for sure. And the 6-inch into the fray, I used that during the game as well with some Wardens, as Carl didn't use his Assault Marine, so I went, okay, charged into it. And that was a bit of a debate there because we weren't too sure. There was no argument or anything. We were just like, now we've opened up a can of worms here, because he hadn't charged, so he heads no fight first, and I had charged using heroic intervention, but of course heroic intervention doesn't give you fights first, so we're a bit of a quandary there. I would say what I've learned from this game is setup is so important with Custodes, because you don't have many models, so it's really important to get your setup right. Definitely going to go onto TTS, and I'm going to get all the maps up, and I'm going to put my list on and try and be better at deployment. One of the biggest things as well I found, I like shield host, I like the crits on 5 and the sustained hits and the opportunity to move to lethals, which is very good. It's a very good army rule. The enhancements are really good. Being able to put 2 into reserve is fantastic. I think the biggest problem I've got is the stratagems. They're very situational. Definitely lost the game in the centre, because the counterpunch from the Ultramarines was key to them winning this game. I couldn't deal with Kato and Calgar. Definitely feel I've learned a hell of a lot more, because you always look at the things that you've done wrong and how you could do them better. So I'm going to try Lines of the Emperor, focus on deployment, practice on TTS. If you've got this far, the question I put to you nerdlings in this roll and reflect, will changing the detachment solve the problem, do you think? Or am I the problem? Give me your advice. If you're a Custodes player, put your comments down below. You know, what's your favourite units that you like using in Custodes? What's your favourite detachment? Why is it your favourite detachment? Thanks for watching, nerdlings. I hope you've enjoyed the content and you're enjoying these roll and reflects. And until next time, catch you later.